I'm really excited to do this project that I proposed because, um, yeah, like I'm very into the idea of creating meditation labyrinths. Basically, that's kind of how I think of a lot of my work, especially the sculptural installations. I usually make like pathways for people to walk through. So with the virtual installation, it will be like that still. It will, you will have your body and you will have a kind of like pathway around yourself where you can explore and kind of get lost in the labyrinth. Well, yeah, I guess I think of photography as it's meant to be this like objective, like capturing of reality, um, and obviously it's not objective; it's very subjective. Uh, and I think as it changes, as the technology changes, it becomes even more possible to view what the shapes are that the camera allows you to see. And I think reflecting on the fundamental shape that frames your objective capturing of reality is an important part of using photography as an artistic medium. Working with software, I think, is always about like collaborating with the architecture of the program. So I'm definitely reacting to what's possible within the software. But my approach has changed over time with the program as I've like learned how to do different things with it. So like I used to just draw a shape 2D and then extrude it, and that was my object. And I did that for years. That was all I knew how to do. But then I learned how to start with a cube and then extrude the cube this way, this way, this way, clone it, and it becomes kind of more complex. I think working digitally has really allowed me to work physically because I can design things digitally, and I've had some experimentation with digital fabrication to kind of know what parameters will work, or how to work within the parameters. Uh, so I have been able to work to create actual physical objects. Before that, I used to do a lot of sculpture installations where I just gathered things like pieces of bark or rocks or grass or whatever, and then I arranged them. And the act of arrangement was like the main important thing of the process of installation. Like when I first started sharing work online, it was much smaller communities and um, kind of more exciting because you didn't really know who the people were. You just knew them through the images the artwork that they posted. So I had like all these friends from around the world that I just knew based on their artwork, and I could every day look and see my feed of their work. I mean, it's still like that to some extent. The way that I use it is usually on flat planes. So it basically just adheres to the plane, and then I can choose I tile it and with symmetry, and I can choose to make it bigger or smaller, or move this way or this way. So I mess around with that until I find a composition that looks good. So like I'm really excited about using the headset that allows you to walk around and not just sit in one place. Um, and I figured it just seemed so obvious to mesh that with like paying attention to the physical space, because part of the exhibition is people watching other people go through it. So I think having a labyrinth on the ground that corresponds with the labyrinth in the virtual space is an obvious kind of exciting way of connecting the physical and the virtual. Yeah, and I think I'm going to do this project at a gallery in LA next month. I do hope that it does continue to, or like that it promotes physicality instead. I don't like this vision of a body wasting away and just in this headset, um, never go outside or something. I think that's. I hope that's not the direction it goes. I think that there's a lot of potential for virtual reality to bring us outside more and have these experiences that are so virtual that we like notice our perception in a different way, because we're like the virtual space, that's a space that's completely designed by humans. I mean, it's within the Earth's parameters, but it's like within these human parameters that we invented that are supposed to represent space. So I think if we're actually in there and thinking critically, it can hopefully show us other ways of being more sentient when we're out in physical space.